The Luxe Canada, TLC for short.
They've got these two sides to their business, and figuring out how they work is key. First, you've got the main pillar collections, which TLC fully controls, like they source and authenticate everything themselves.
Direct from TLC, authenticity guaranteed. What's the other side then?
That would be the TLC marketplace. TLC doesn't actually own or sell the stuff on the marketplace. They just provide the platform. Let's start with TLC's main pillar collections. What kind of treasures are they curating?
First up, they've got pre-loved designer goods. Think handbags, shoes, accessories, all the good stuff. They work with big global suppliers for this, and every item comes with a certificate of authenticity.
That certificate definitely takes some of the worry out of buying pre-loved. What else is in these main pillar collections?
Now, this is where it gets interesting. They actually source stuff directly from European factory outlets.
So TLC is like our secret shopper, going in and grabbing those deals for us.
Exactly. And to prove the authenticity, they provide the original receipts from the factory outlets with every purchase.
Transparency is key. I love it. Okay, so pre-loved, factory fine. What other tricks do they have up their sleeve?
They also have their own line of 24K pure gold jewelry, all inspired by those big designer names, but made in their own factory in Hong Kong.
Wow, their own jewelry line. That's a whole other level.
It's all about making those luxurious designs more affordable. By cutting out the middlemans, they can offer better prices.
Okay, I'm seeing a theme here. Affordable luxury. TLC is breaking down those barriers that have kept so many of us from experiencing the joy of designer goods.
And speaking of breaking down barriers, they also offer layaway plans so you can snag that dream item without totally breaking the bank.
So we've covered their main pillar collections, but now I'm really curious about this TLC marketplace.
Picture this. You're scrolling through their marketplace and it's like a virtual department store. But each section is an independent boutique or seller from around the world. They all have their own carefully selected designer goods, from clothes and bags to shoes and accessories.
It sounds like a treasure trove. How does TLC ensure authenticity?
First off, TLC doesn't just let anyone sell on their marketplace. They've got this whole vetting process for sellers. It's all handled by a third-party team of experts who look at everything: seller's history, feedback from other buyers, the quality of their inventory, even their communication skills. TLC actually has a third-party team that audits the marketplace. They're constantly checking inventory, monitoring seller activity, making sure everyone's playing by the rules.
Wow, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes to ensure that marketplace is legit. But even with all that, how can TLC be absolutely positive that every single item is the real deal?
That's where the next layer of their authentication process comes in. Instead of handling it themselves like they do with the main pillar collections, they actually use a third-party logistics and fulfillment company for the marketplace. The sellers send their items to this company, and they go through a super thorough inspection. They compare everything to authentic references, check the condition, basically make sure it's all legit. But there's one more crucial step. They take photos of the item and send them to another third-party company. This one specializes in digital authentication.
But with all this talk about authentication, I can't help but wonder, what about the prices? We're talking designer goods here. Are we really getting those deep discounts that make our hearts sing?
That's where the magic of the off-price retail model comes in, and it's a big reason why TLC's marketplace can offer such good deals.
How does this off-price magic work? How can these sellers offer designer goods?
Imagine this. A department store orders tons of designer handbags for the new season. Then a new trend pops up. Or maybe they just overestimated how much they'd sell. Suddenly, they've got all this extra inventory they need to get rid of.
Okay, so mountains of designer bags, all looking for a new home. What happens next?
That's where those savvy off-price retailers step in. They buy up this excess inventory at a fraction of the original price.
So it's like a win-win-win situation. The department store clears out their stock, the off-price retailer gets a steal, and we get designer discounts.
Exactly. And that's how those marketplace sellers can offer those jaw-dropping prices on authentic designer goods.
Okay, the pieces are starting to fall into place now. I'm getting how the whole off-price thing works. But there's one term you mentioned earlier that I need more info on. The gray market. I gotta be honest, it sounds a bit mysterious, maybe even a little shady.
And yeah, it can be a bit controversial. It's basically when genuine products are imported into a country without the brand's, like, official okay.
Wait, hold on. How's that even legal? Don't brands freak out about controlling where their stuff is sold?
They do, but it often comes down to legal loopholes. As long as the products are authentic and there aren't any major differences that would mislead buyers, it's usually legal.
Give me an example.
Think about a luxury handbag. If the leather shade is a tiny bit off, or maybe a small interior pocket is missing, that's probably not a big deal. Wouldn't be considered a material difference in legal terms.
Okay, so it's about protecting the brand's image, making sure we're not getting tricked into buying something that's not what it seems.
Exactly. And while some brands totally hate the gray market, others kind of tolerate it. It can be a way for them to manage extra inventory or reach new markets without hurting their main sales channels.
So it's like this complex dance between brands, retailers, and us shoppers. And TLC's marketplace is right in the middle of it all, making it possible to find those amazing deals.
It's a whole ecosystem, and understanding how it works can make you a much savvier shopper. All right, so the Luxe Canada Promise. It's basically a set of guarantees they offer to build that trust and make shoppers feel secure, especially when you're dealing with a platform like the marketplace where you've got all these different sellers and items.
Yeah, so break it down for me. What exactly does this promise cover?
Well, it boils down to three main things: authenticity, vetted professional sellers, and a money-back guarantee.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of this already. But what about the sellers themselves? How does TLC make sure they're a real deal, not some shady operation?
That's where the vetted professional seller's guarantee comes in. It's not a free-for-all on the marketplace. Not everyone can just sign up and start selling. They've got this third-party team of experts who vet every single seller. They look at their history, their feedback from other buyers, the quality of their stuff, even their communication. It's pretty intense.
What if an item arrives damaged, or it's not as described, or it gets lost in the mail?
That's where the money-back guarantee kicks in. TLC covers all those scenarios. Damaged item, not as described, lost in transit, you name it. The customer gets a full refund. And on top of that, TLC only works with trusted global delivery partners for those marketplace shipments. So everything is insured and you've got different shipping options to choose from.
Okay, so they're basically taking responsibility for the whole journey, from listing to delivery. Seems like they've really thought this through, trying to cover all the bases.
Of course, you'll always have a few unhappy customers here and there. That's just how it goes with any online platform.
That's true. You can't please everyone all the time.
There are a few scenarios where a return might not be accepted or a refund denied, like if the customer damages the item themselves after receiving it or tries to return something that's clearly been worn or used.
Yeah, that makes sense. You got to be reasonable, both as a buyer and a seller.
At the end of the day, TLC is the platform.
We focused a lot on how TLC makes luxury more affordable, how they offer great deals, how they empower shoppers with knowledge. But what about the ethics of it all?
We definitely need to look at both sides of the coin, weigh the good with the bad.
For one, there's the environmental impact of all this consumption. Even if TLC is promoting pre-loved items and helping brands get rid of excess stuff, we're still talking about a lot of things being bought and sold.
But I think TLC's model actually offers some solutions. By encouraging people to buy pre-loved, they're helping to reduce waste and give those luxury items a longer life.
That's true. It's like a circular economy for luxury goods, keeping those beautiful pieces in circulation instead of ending up in a landfill.
Exactly. And by working with the off-price retail network, TLC helps brands find a responsible way to deal with their extra inventory instead of just tossing it out. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Okay, I'm seeing the potential here. It's like a more conscious way to enjoy luxury, indulging in those designer dreams without feeling quite as bad about the environmental impact. But what about the brands themselves?
Some brands hate the off-price market. They think it cheapens their image and makes their products seem less valuable. But others see it as a smart move.
And I think TLC's model offers a really interesting solution. Curated main pillar collections and the more adventurous marketplace, they're appealing to different types of luxury shoppers.
And it shows that they really get how the luxury world is changing. Shoppers today, we're more savvy, more informed, and we're not just buying into the old hype. We want access, we want value, and we want to feel good about what we're buying.
And TLC seems to be right on the pulse of that shift. They're offering a new way to experience luxury, one that feels more authentic, more transparent, and honestly, more in line with what a lot of us are looking for today.
It's not just about finding a good deal on a designer bag. It's about redefining what luxury even means in the 21st century.
The carefully curated main pillar collections, where TLC does all the work for you, authentication guaranteed. Or are you feeling adventurous, drawn to that bustling marketplace from independent sellers around the world, where you can hunt for those incredible deals? I'm seriously walking away with a whole new perspective on luxury, on consumption, on the choices we make as shoppers. And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Me too. If there's one thing I hope everyone takes away from this, it's that knowledge is power. The more you know about the brands you love, the companies you support, and how the whole market works, the better decisions you can make.
Perfectly said. So to all our listeners out there, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and don't let those designer dreams fade away.
And if you want to learn more about the Luxe Canada and how they're shaking up the luxury game, definitely check out their website. They've got tons of info about their main pillar collections, their marketplace, and their commitment to authenticity.
Happy shopping, everyone!